This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by Liam Smith over Zoom. Liam, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. You?
I'm all good. I'm all good. Obviously, we haven't had a chance to catch up since your venture out into Russia. Your fight with Magomed Kurbanov. It was a crowd-pleasing affair, but one which didn't go your way. The scorecards ending up going in Kurbanov's favour by unanimous decision. Controversial to say the least, Liam. But firstly, just on the fight itself, reflecting on it, what did you make of your performance?
Okay, obviously taking everything into consideration. I've been out the ring a long time. I've been out the ring 17 months, I think it was. I think it was 25 months, over 2 years since I've made 154. Taking everything into account, I fought a prospect coming through unbeaten, a good fighter, and I won the fight really, but the performance wise, I think it was a okay performance, and I'll push on now, and I've got to kind of just dust myself off that. I can't really dwell on it because I can't kick myself too much. I know watching the fight back and the people's reactions, I know I won that fight and anywhere else in the world to get that decision, but I'll kick on now and try and stay active towards the end of the year.
I imagine before the fight, you may well have thought about it. Might have been running through your minds. If it goes to the scorecards, will you get a fair shake? What was running through your mind when you was hearing the cards read out?
Obviously beforehand, you get drawn into the fact that I'm getting told everywhere, left, right, and centre. People saying you'll get a fair crack, and I just believe it. I just thought, what, I'm former world champion. They respect me enough to, if I win the fight, they'll give me the decision. And people are saying to me it was a bad robbery. People are saying different. I just think, I think I win the fight, and that's that. And I think anywhere else in the world, I probably get that decision besides Russia. But then when I look into it now, at the end of the fight, I just knew by all the reactions, I knew ringside, and I seen that Igor Tushkat, whatever his name is, the billionaire who looks after Kurbanov, and it was just a big click. Honest to God, it was to be there and be around it. You'd laughed even more. The referee done me head in more than anything. Judges can be judges. Judges will always be the same, but the referee was in the spotlight and under the cameras where people could see him, and he was shocking. And after the fight, it's just like he never even had a belt there for me. If I won, I had no belt to bring home. It's not like it was a world title; it was a vacant title, and I had no belt. The belt that was on show was Kurbanov's old title. You know what I mean? So, I was never ever winning it. I was never beating a Russian on victory there over there. Put it that way.
Do you regret taking the fight on reflection?
No, because given the circumstances we're all in, within a pandemic, I was not getting many other offers, and there was not many choices to have. So again, as I said before, I was out the ring 17 months. I needed something. I would have took anything, but I wasn't getting offered nothing. And that's what's frustrated me a little bit, and still is frustrating me a bit.
So it is puzzling to me thinking about it, because you're, as you say, you're former world champion. You've still got aspirations to challenge for another world title. With the greatest of respect to the current 154 crop domestically, I wouldn't put you in that bunch. I would put you above them. But why do you think it is that an opportunity just hadn't presented itself to you yet?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot. There's a lot of fighting the same position and the same boat as I'm in. It's hard, and it's hard that we're going through a bit of a pandemic, so to speak. Whether for other fighters, I'm probably high risk, low reward for them. So I'm not getting given opportunities in that sense. I'm not sure why Eddie and Matchroom didn't really push for the Vargas fight. When it was mentioned, the Brook fight in the past, I was phoned and told to go to be at his fight. I went to his fight in Sheffield on the basis of I thought this fight was done. and I'd done 1,000,001 interviews after this fight, ringside. I think I'd done one with yourself, and you know, I drove home from Sheffield thinking the fight's on with Brook, and it just went quiet on that bit part, and I don't know. I'm just, you know, I'm one of them, mate. I'm curious myself, because it's not like, you know, me or my management team are hard work to deal with. Anything, you know, like Russia's a prime example. Offer me something and I'll take it, you know, and I'm not one to sit there and I've never knocked opponents back. I've never knocked anyone back on, I know he's a southpaw, or I know he's fucking a puncher, or, you know, I've fought everyone really they've offered me, and I should be easy to deal with, to be honest with you.
People talk about boxing politics and how it can affect different scenarios, Liam. For yourself now, when you talk about how you was getting fed up previously and it's still kind of frustrating you now, how much is it weighing on your mind with regards to your career and how much longer you want to prolong your career? Have you thought about, is there a timeline as to when you might step away, especially if things carry on the way they are?
No, obviously, you know, I love boxing. It's all I know. So while I still, you know, when I'm on the way out, I'm sure, you know, the same with what we've all done. I've got, you know, how close my three brothers are. They'll all tell me, and they'll be the first to tell me, you want to start having to think about it now. And I know by like sparring people, performances, you know, the Kurbanov fight, you know, that's a prime example for me. He's an unbeaten Russian, talking about him doing big things, and again, I'm gonna keep going about it. I didn't lose that fight, especially I think Kurbanov had 4 fights in 2020. You know, my last fight was 2019. You know, I've still got a lot left, and the only time I can prove it is getting back in the ring and proving it. And I'm more frustrated with. I say that Vargas thing frustrated me massively. That fight should have been done. I know he fought Mikey Garcia. That was a no-brainer for him. But you know, it should be so easy to make.
I saw Jessie in Las Vegas. It was about a month and a half ago now, and I put it to him because I saw the little exchanges you and him had over Twitter, and he just said, if it's what is, you know, if what the team thinks right, then you'll get it on.
Honestly, I've heard it now for a number of times. You know, we come on social media the week and said about time he shut me up, and I thought, okay, here we go, must be nearly done now. He might have had a conversation with Eddie on his part, and again, it just went quiet again. And you know, obviously, I think, you know, he's done a contract at the start. I think he was the first fighter to do the Matchroom and his own deal, so I think he's on very good money. And you know, but I think just make the fight. You know, if you're ready to make that fight, you get one of us. The loser's not going to ask you for another fight, surely. I think Jessie might have one fight left with Eddie. You know, if he loses Eddie, you don't have to deal with him again. You know, if I lose to Jessie Vargas next, then I'm not going to be knocking on your door, Eddie, saying, "Oh, get me this fight, get me that fight." So, you know, you can get rid of one of us, and you know, we know how boxing works. We're not especially me and Jessie have been in the big game a long time, but I just think he's looking like he keeps banging on. It's like Brook. They're banging on about going to 154 and then call him 147 fighters out. He's telling everyone's going to 154 and then call Mikey Garcia out in a rematch. And now wants Mikey Garcia to fight him at 154. Like, you're gonna, you know, Brook done the same at that time. You know what I mean? Just if you're gonna move up and fight 154s, you know, if you fight me, you fight me. If you don't fight me, fight the other 154s. You moved up, and I think he's either after the easy fight, or because he's got good money in Eddie's contract, or he's after a big name where he gets a high reward and then he can cash out. Because me personally, I don't think he's interested in boxing anymore. I don't think he's got the love for it he once had. And I think his commentary and his punditry work with the zone is more appealing to him.
Liam, we said at the beginning, obviously, you've got those aspirations to look back towards the world scene, but just on the domestic scene, because of, again, the frustrations you've had trying to secure a big name or a big fight, would you consider one of the other guys just domestically, like a Ted Cheeseman or a Scott Fitzgerald, if you got back down to 154?
I've said that, you know, I spoke to my manager, you know, I seen Eddie the other day mentioning Fowler, and it's like, you know, I thought my man just straight away, you're going to make it, make it. Like, even you know, Eddie himself, he knows me, has knew me long enough. If you want to try and build Fowler and like say, look, we'll give you 1 or 2 more, then we'll give you beefy, then fine, fire away. But you know, to me, I'm kind of interested in what's next for me. I want the biggest fight possible next. You know, I don't want to warm up for Andy Fowler. Do you know what I mean? So, or a Ted Cheeseman or a Scott Fitzgerald. If you want to make one of them fights, then fire away and make it. Or, you know, make us offer, pick a date. But touching back on what you said, you know, the position I'm in, the age of me, and I want the biggest fight next possible, and whoever it is, fire away and let's talk. You know, I'm you know, I think you knew me yourself long enough now. Whoever it is, fire away. I won't shy away from no one. Certainly not no one domestically. You know what I mean? So we see what happens. You know, I think I may be out in October on that Liverpool show, maybe. So we'll see what opponents get looked at. You know, me and my team will speak, and I'm sure MTK will speak with Eddie over it.
Liam, your first fight against Kurbanov with a new training setup, how did you find it?
Yeah, you know, it was good. It was only short, but I've got a good relationship with the lads, Joseph and Declan. I've had a relationship with them my whole life. You know, my mum and their mum are friends. My father and their fathers are friends. We grew up together, you know, like family. So it was good. It was comfortable to be around, and while we were in the gym, it was, you know, it was work time, and it was good. It was only short. Like, and again, taking into consideration, I only had 4 weeks with them maybe after America. That comes into the play. That I think it was a good performance on that part too.
Go ask you, Liam, just to kind of go over it. Obviously, without Joe Gallagher now in your team, just the reasons behind that. We saw some comments previously before the announcement became official that rumours had started to come out. You had split with him. So just kind of your take on why you two are not working together anymore.
Yeah, but just you know, a change. It was. I think a lot of people. You know, I remember speaking to yourself, but tried to make more of it than what it was. You know, we split. You know, I felt I needed to change. I had the thought about going to America. I've always had a good relationship with Manny Robles, and I've always quietly wanted to join him, but not wanted to join him. But I've always thought if I ever left Joe, I'd love to be coached by him. And I went over, and that was nearly on the verge of being done. And then just the circumstances changed, you know. And you know, I've got a little daughter who's 1. I've got another baby on the way, due September. So it just didn't work. It was just bad timing, and it didn't work at that stage of me. You know, with the fight coming up, the Russia fight got announced while I was in America with Manny, and I spoke with Manny over that fight, and I come home for brain scans and stuff, and then a couple of things happened, and before I went to the States, I was training with Joseph and Declan. They were helping me at first, just getting back fit, and you know, I come home and I just thought, no, what, they're good enough coaches to take me into that fight. So you know, I put my trust in them for that, and I think they delivered really. I don't think it was anything to do with the coach's part. I never got the decision.
So do you think you'll stay with the training setup you have currently, or will you maybe consider Manny again?
No, you know, I think it's only fair. I owe it to them to give Joseph and Declan a full camp. You know, I think I had no qualms, no problems with them. So I think, you know, it's only fair that they get a full camp, and you know, let's see the condition I get in next time, because I was happy with everything last time, and you know, I think I can only get better again. I'll be out the ring for what, 4 months this time. So you know, I'm looking forward to being back out, and again, I'll put in a good performance next time.
Just a few other things I want to touch on, Liam, before I leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening. Charlo Castano, the undisputed battle 154, that's on the horizon. Just want to get your thoughts and your take on it. What do you expect from it?
No, I think it's a good fight. It's a very good fight. I think people are sleeping on Castano. He's a good fighter. You know, the Charlos are getting a big name now because of him and his brother, and because he's been there for a while, champion. People are just saying he automatically wins. Don't get me wrong, I do think he probably just wins, but I think it's a good fight, and it's a very, very interesting fight. Clash of styles. Charlo is technically good, technically sound. Castano throws a lot of punches, can fight, short, compact, and I do think it'll be very interesting. But I think Charlo just edges it.
And then just want to move away from that fight and just touch on your brothers. Firstly, Stephen announcing his retirement today. Just kind of your take on that. I remember speaking to him when Callum fought Canelo. He said to me then he knew it, but he just couldn't get the words out effectively. He just couldn't. I think he just couldn't admit it to himself. He's officially put a post out, officially let the world know. Just your take on it.
I think I think he's put the post out because it's fitting. 13 years today, I think he made his debut, so it was only right. He told the world what he's probably knew for 12 months now. Again, I'm gutted to see him retire. I'm happy for him. He's had a very, very unbelievable career. People be proud of. 2-time British champion. WBC silver champion twice or 3 times, and he's been very, very unlucky in his world title bids. 2 great fights, and the champions both put in career best performances against him, and it shows you how unlucky he was against Pedraza. What Pedraza's gone on to do. Gave a good fight with Lomachenko and went on to win a world title again after that at a different weight. So, yeah, he's had a career that he should be sit there and be proud of. But what I'm gutted over the situation we're all in, what I spoke about before. COVID killed his last hurrah. He had his ear operation, then had a couple of undercard fights, and then was about to basically, not be let off the leash, but give me any opponents now and I'll take it. And I think he was close to getting the Patera fight at lightweight just before the pandemic hit. So it killed him, and it's put a year in at 35, time waits for no one. And, he probably he's decided now the time is right to just call it a day.
And then obviously just waiting on news as to what Callum's going to do next. Can you give us any kind of insight into how Callum's getting on?
He's just, he's working into 175. I think he's announced it now to people. He's told everybody, and he'll try and become a 2-time world champion, and I'm fully confident he does that. I think he's probably he's being written off now, so he'll come back and he'll make a big statement at 175.
How much of a benefit do you think the extra £7 will be for Callum? Because he was massive, as everybody says. I'm sure you guys are probably fed up of hearing it. He was obviously massive at 168. So the extra £7 at 175, how much of a benefit do you think it will be for him?
I think it'll be huge because obviously he was, I think, just towards the back end of it, his last couple, he started looking thin, if you know what I mean. He went from looking like a monster. You look at his George Groves pictures, he was huge. And then look at I think he just started getting to the point now where it was hitting him a little bit, on taking a little bit out of his maybe performances or maybe his losing muscle. And I just think now it is the time that he can go 175 and put his muscle back on, and he'll be a big 175 as well. I'm telling you, wait and see.
And then just moving onwards again, just want to get your thoughts on one final topic. Obviously, everybody was anticipating a Fury AJ announcement for an undisputed bout. That all fell through, and instead we'll see Fury Wilder 3 and what seems most likely AJ Usyk. Firstly, just your thoughts on Fury Wilder 3. You expecting anything different from the trilogy?
You know what? I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as people think. I think Fury probably wins, and I hope he wins, but I'd never write that Wilder off. I think you're mad if you write him off. The punch power he has, and you're getting people like, not deluded, but people like thinking, yeah, but he's if Fury with his best and Fury got up. That's fine. If you've got a choice, you can get up, and if he's got a choice to get up, he will get up. But sometimes them heavyweights have got no choice, mate. Sometimes they're gone, and let's be brutally honest about that first fight. The way Fury's lying on that floor, if that referee stops that count at 5 and waves it off, nobody complains. And the referee come out a bit of a hero by not doing that. So I would never write him off the punch power the man's got, but I think Fury's just seems to have got his number. Like, he's living in his head, and think he wins.
And then the other one being AJ Usyk, provided that does get the green light and goes ahead. Just again, Liam, your thoughts on it?
Very, very interested. I'll be looking forward to seeing that one. You know, I think people are sorry, I keep coughing me. She's cooking it again. Something smoke running on. Yeah, you know, people are question marks now on Usyk after the Chisora fight. People saying he's not a heavyweight now. You know, a lot of people who fancied Usyk to beat Joshua are now fancying Joshua to beat Usyk because of the Chisora fight. But I think where Chisора's technically, Joshua's technically better than Chisora, will play more into Usyk's hands. You know, I think Usyk's very good with someone technically good. You know, when Usyk can, like, you know, maybe slip shots, slip Joshua straight backhands, and whereas Chisora was just getting on his chest and you don't know where the shots are coming from. But I do think Joshua has also seen that fight and thought, you know, if Chisora can do that to you, I'll knock you flat out. And I think both of them will be confident going into that. But pick a winner, I don't know on that one.
Right, Liam, we will leave it there now. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. Like I say, it's good to catch up with you. Hopefully I'll see you again soon in person. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Nice one, mate. That.